Rose, and we are a witchy wellness store. And I'm bringing my friend Valerie on today, and I think this is just perfect timing because everything that's happening right now has brought up a lot of discouragement, and a lot of people are navigating challenges and feeling like there's just a wall in front of them. And I just love your story, Valerie. I find you to be deeply inspiring and so much hope. You bring so much hope into what you talk about. So without further ado, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, what you do for your work, your business, and then just share your story around, what called you into this.
Of course. Well, hello, everybody, and thank you so much for this invitation. I'm so happy to be here. I hope that someday I get to actually come to the store.
Yes.
But for now, this is wonderful. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Valerie Fuentes, and I support women that are going through medical hair loss caused by autoimmune diseases such as alopecia, cancer, or even trichotillomania, which is not an autoimmune disease, but basically anybody that's going through medical hair loss. I have gone through it myself. I've had alopecia since I was 18, I want to say. I wasn't diagnosed until 24, but I started losing my hair at 18, which was, I mean, it can be pretty traumatic, especially in your early 20s, to start losing your hair massively.
And so,
Um,
sorry, I want to
but
ask a question. Between the age of 18 and 24, so you started experiencing hair loss, but weren't actually diagnosed for 6 years.
mhm.
And what was that process like for you? And were you seeing doctors? Were you seeing like holistic practitioners? Like, where did you even start?
So this is actually interesting because I didn't, because I was on a abusive relationship, I would say, and I thought I was losing my hair because of the relationship. So I thought that just stress was causing my hair to fall out.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of changes. I was going through a lot of changes at that time. So I live in Miami now, but at the time I moved. I think it was at, I don't know, 19 or 20. I moved to Seattle, running away from that relationship.
Yeah.
So I was in a new city by myself, technically, afraid from this man or my life over here. And so it was a lot of things that I just at that moment I thought that my hair was falling out because of that.
Yeah.
So I didn't do anything for a while, right? I was just like, oh well, if I'm gonna get better, like when things come back, I'm
When my
gonna be
stress goes
fine.
away, when I'm not afraid for my life.
Yeah, exactly. And so at 24, I think I was graduating from college, and yeah, it was fine. I mean, life was good. So that's when you start thinking, okay, things are good now, and my hair's still falling out like really bad. So something's going on. And the first time you hear that you have alopecia, it's a shock. And it really doesn't make sense because I think for any autoimmune disease, alopecia or anything, like the explanation is not, I mean, it's as simple as this. Your body is killing itself.
Yeah.
Your body's killing a part of your body, right? Like for me, it's my hair. For other people, are different organs, different tissues. Uh, but there is no like, oh, your body's doing this because you ate this, or because there is no real explanation of why your body's doing this,
Right.
which it also leaves you in a state of what, why, and then I feel like your autoimmune disease not only causes whatever physical, I mean, expresses physically in some way, but then also mentally the things that you go through thinking like, what do you mean I'm killing myself? What do you mean my body's killing itself? Why? So you also start feeling inadequate, like you feel weird, you feel different, you feel like something's wrong with you. So I feel like with autoimmune diseases, it's really interesting the process because it's not only the physical side of it, but also like the psychological effects of it.
Yeah, just the terminology, like your body is attacking itself and knowing
Mm-hmm.
that you literally have nowhere to go. There is no escaping this physical vessel that houses your soul and creates your earthly experience. So it's like, wow, that is such a an interesting challenge to like really overcome.
Yeah,
And the
and you just
shame.
touched right on like the the key I want to say of I don't want to say overcome this because there's nothing to overcome because it'll be with you, right? But the way to live with it is to see how your body is your body and your soul is your soul. Like it's two different things.
Yeah.
I really think that's the key. You just said it right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this, and I feel like our physical body is incarnated as it's incarnated to support us. And so, you know, what I'd love to ask you actually, especially on this topic, I've been educating myself on like political correctness and like especially in the non-binary community and recognizing that not everybody identifies as male or female. So I've been like
Mm-hmm.
expanding my vocabulary to say like humans or people. Is there anything that we can know about for people who have alopecia that we can start to educate ourselves and understand that feels respectful?
As far as language, um,
Yeah, like I noticed you talked about hair pieces, whereas I would have said wig. Is there anything?
right. I really think that's psychological more than anything. I think that, um, wow, that's so cool that you brought that up. So I think that we probably have a stigma within ourselves of like having that denial of I'm wearing a wig, right? I mean, technically, physically, like the way it looks, they're different things, right? Like a wig is like a full head of hair. A
Okay.
hairpiece is just like a piece, right? Like not like the entire scalp, but just like a part of it.
Okay.
So that's one part. But I also feel that um, in our community, saying like a lot of people are not comfortable saying that they're wearing a wig.
Sure.
So you call it alternative hair,
Okay.
you call it a hairpiece, you call it different things, just because it's a part of acceptance, right? Of yeah, I'm wearing a wig.
Yes. I
Some
love
people are comfortable with it, some people are not. So that absolutely, that's a great question. So
cool.
yeah, I mean, I want to say hairpiece, alternative hair. I think is what a lot of people in our community are calling it, alternative hair. Um, but that's it. I mean, and I think people that have alopecia that are not like more in the acceptance stage, I would call it, just call themselves alopecians, which
Okay.
it's a completely different terminology. Yeah, it's
I
cool.
love that. And that,
Yeah.
it's so inspiring too. So you were talking about, how the soul and the physical body are,
Yeah.
they're together and they're essentially, well, I don't even want to say two separate parts, right? Because they're not necessarily separate. But what I love that you're presencing in that is we are born into this and we can be inspired or uplifted and take the invitation for the transformation, or we can really let it maybe defeat us and feel like a little hopeless and like, lost. So, especially like I feel like around social conditioning, have you been able to step into, obviously you have, can you talk a little bit about how you've taken this as an invitation for your growth and staring down, the stigma?
Well, I mean, I think I was just affected by it, right? Like being a woman in this society, you are expected to have beautiful, long, luscious hair.
Mhm.
That's just an expectation. And the moment you hear that you're going to lose your hair, it's kind of like your definition of being a woman is gone, or that's what it felt like,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I know that's not real. Like, and now I can see that's not real. But at the time, who's gonna like me like this? Who's gonna love me like this? I'm broken. So now I can see, obviously this took me many years. I didn't feel the way I feel right now, 10, 12 years ago. But now I can see how, I mean, my hair doesn't define me at all. I could have this hair that I purchased, or biological hair, or have no hair. And I'm still feminine, and I'm still a woman, and I'm still Val.
Yeah.
But I didn't see that before. And I think that is what affects the women that are going through this so much. And that's why I take this mission now so hard. Like, my pain legitimately became my purpose, just watching women getting like literally being almost suicidal because they're losing their hair, because they're feeling like, the loss of identity, I would call it. That's what it is. You feel like you're losing your identity
Yeah. It's all.
because woman equals beautiful hair, and you don't have it, or you're going to lose it, right? And it's almost like if you haven't lost it all, because also alopecia has different stages, and there are, different kinds of alopecia. So it's like not all of us lose all of our hair. Some of us lose just the hair in the scalp. Some people lose all of it. Some people lose patches. It's just, it's different for everyone. And also alopecia is very cyclical. So you might lose your hair and then you gain it back.
Oh,
So it's a lot of, it's a roller coaster. It's really, yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if you know this, but yeah, it is cyclical. So you can lose all your hair and you can get it all back and then lose it again. So I think the resilience, I would call it, that you obtain going through this is amazing, right? Like, it can either make you really strong, or it can, I don't want to say it, but I don't want to say it can kill you, but like it can really affect you, because you get the hopes up that you gain your hair back, and it's like, oh my God, I healed myself and it's great. I mean, I've been through this, trust me. And then boom, you lose it again. So yeah.
yeah.
I don't even remember what was your original question, but yes. Oh, you were talking about identity,
Yeah.
and like, yeah, yeah,
And I'm sure that you experience, judgment from others, especially in relationships, romantic relationships. Do you have any inspiring stories for, women who are potentially suffering from alopecia and in relationships that, you feel like would be supportive to share?
yeah, of course. So I think the first time, or when I really felt it, was when I was in college. Um, because I mean, I don't know. I'm like half and half. I'm either very shy or very outgoing. And so,
You're a Gemini,
yeah,
right?
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
So that explains it, huh?
So perfect.
Yes. So, yeah, there were times that I mean, I don't. Okay, so now that I'm on the other side, I would think I don't think that people were focused on my hair, but it felt like it,
Sure.
right? Because you're 20 something and you're surrounded by all these beautiful women with the most beautiful hair, and you look at yourself, what is this, right? So I felt that I was being looked at. Now I don't know that I was, to
Yeah.
be honest, because I do know that a lot of these conversations happen in our head and not necessarily out here.
Yeah.
So, but I do think that, so my take on the relationship piece that you were saying right now, I want to say, like, just give yourself your place, right? Like, and say who you are. Like, I think it's interesting, and because I'm part of a lot of groups, and obviously I've been in this world for many many years. That men that accept their partner, with hair loss, are like praised, right? Like, oh my God, he loves me the way I am, and he's so great. Why shouldn't he? And that's the piece that I think I shared this with you once, that drives me nuts, is that we don't go around saying, oh my God, this bald guy, I love him anyway. No, you just say, I like this guy, he's sexy, he's hot, he's bald.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
But you're
and
not
then
finding him attractive.
exactly. And then when it comes to the other way around, it's like your boyfriend or whatever is like, he's the best guy because he loves you because you're losing your hair. How does that make any sense?
No, yeah, it's a patriarchal double standard.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's my take on that. It's like, I the problem with that is that you do have to be really strong on your own beliefs of who you are, uh, to expect the other person to love you that way. You know what I mean? Because you're like, the way I'm projecting and the way I'm showing myself is what you're gonna see and what you're gonna love, right? So like, if I'm embarrassed about my body, if I'm embarrassed about my hair loss, of course you're not going to be proud of it. Like, you can't expect your partner to praise you if you're embarrassed yourself.
Yeah.
So if you make it a big deal, if you make it a big thing, if you make it, this is, horrible, then of course you're going to see it that way. So I think it's also up to us what we make it, for them to respect or love us the way we want to be respected.
I love that.
So to that, it's like, for instance, and it obviously took me a long, long time to get to this place. It's like, how are you telling your story? Are you saying, I have alopecia and this like crushed me, and my life is ruined, and like, are you telling your story in a way that you're crushed and you're devastated and you're done because of it? Or are you telling your story in a way that this is something that is empowering you, changing you, and moving you forward, right? Like, you were telling me, you said it earlier, oh, I love your story, it's so inspiring. And it's just like, it's just my story, right? Like, it's just the way it is, and like, I'm showing it. But I could also be a victim of my story.
Yes.
I could 100% be a victim of my story and not move from there. So it's really your choice. And the way you project your story, the way you tell your story, that's how people are going to take it. Yeah. So if I wasn't telling my story the way I'm telling my story, you wouldn't think it's inspiring.
Nope.
Like, you wouldn't.
Absolutely.
The only thing that makes it inspiring is that I'm telling you what I've done because of it. Otherwise, it will just be, another story. And it could be a victim story. You could also be telling the story of like, oh my God, I'm going to introduce you to my friend. I have lost her hair and life is so bad. Like, you know what I mean?
Poor girl. See, I would never identify or describe you as this poor woman,
Yeah.
I love what
it's really all the makeup
about like the partnership too. And I put it as a crawler. Don't expect your partner to see you in a way that you can't see yourself.
Exactly.
And so, you talked about how like we really need, I love that you like just totally stared down this like, oh, he's such a saint because he loves her anyway. And if I can inspire the women who are
crazy.
Yeah. And I think that you give a personality for people to borrow, where it's like, hell yeah, you should love me for me because I'm freaking amazing. And
yes.
That's it. So if anybody's watching this and needs to borrow that, put it on. Like, put it on like a suit of clothes and zip yourself into that skin and, enter into your relationships with that level of confidence and knowing of your goodness and your beauty and your femininity.
Yes.
I love that. And so,
And that really applies to anything. It
yeah,
applies to anything.
yes.
Any part of your body, anything that you don't feel self-conscious, that you feel self-conscious about, they should love you anyway.
Yeah. And if they don't, if they don't, they're taking up space right now.
Mm-hmm.
Space of the person that does.
Yeah.
So make room.
Yeah.
Gloria's saying, I love the reminder. I love this. Thank you for the reminder. Thanks, Gloria. This is so good. So, okay, women are watching. Who knows where they are in their process of transformation, of self-acceptance, and this piece around low self-esteem. What's like a bite-size starter, like activity or something they can do to start building their self-esteem? Anything you can suggest around that?
Oh, so many things.
I know.
Um,
I'm like, I got 99.
okay, let me think about the step one. I want to say, because, okay, so if you're trying to renew your self-worth, if you're trying to feel more confident, right, is because you're already in a not so good place. Like you're already feeling bad, right? So I think the first step is stop the self beat up. Stop talking shit about yourself.
Yeah.
Stop being so hard on you. And just every time that you notice those thoughts, just, yeah, we talked about this the other day, just have that awareness of it's okay. How can I do this differently?
Yeah.
Right? If you can't automatically replace the thought, right? Because it's really hard to go from, a really negative thought to a really positive thought. That's not realistic. It's really not. So, okay, you're having this thought and it's a really bad thought about yourself. Then how can you do this differently? And just tell it to yourself, it's okay. I messed this up. It's okay. How can I do this differently?
So, like, when you were experiencing this in the beginning, what was an example of like a thought that you had to transform in yourself?
Well, around my hair, it was plain and simple. Like there is no because alopecia is not something that you can fix, right?
Yeah.
So I couldn't really do the transition that I'm telling you of like how can I do this better, because there is no better way to do it. It's just it is what it is. So as far as my hair loss, the thought was literally I'm not my hair.
Oh, good. So good.
And so that's literally what I kept telling myself, that I'm not my hair. And I would say to the mirror, Valerie, you're not your hair. You're not your hair. And that's how I started like seeing the difference of, my soul and my physical body. But I mean, I do appreciate and I do think that, yes, I mean, there is a difference, but like you said, it's different, but it's not, because we live in this body. Like we live inside this body.
Yeah.
So I think that piece of acceptance, like how I was saying, to when you're switching something to it's okay, how can I do this better? You can't really switch that with your body, or at least immediately, because you can't do your body better. Right?
Right.
So it's like,
What though?
I'm okay, right? Like I'm okay the way I am.
Yeah.
And like just start highlighting the different things that are, that you do like about yourself. But I do think that okay. So speaking of relationships and accepting or not accepting your partner, like when you're having those thoughts, like really negative thoughts, write them down, and then read them to yourself, and then think to yourself, would you let anybody else call you that? Would you let your partner tell you all the horrible things that you're telling yourself? You wouldn't,
Heck
right?
no.
Like sometimes we're so mean to ourselves, so mean. And I know for a fact that I wouldn't let anybody say the things that I tell myself.
I love this so much, Valerie. It's like, yes, if I really presenced and stopped like the internal thought for just enough time to write it down and like put it on paper and then read it out loud, I would probably like never talk to that person ever again.
Right?
So this is so powerful. Oh my gosh. Um,
So you will stop somebody else and you'd be like, excuse me, you're not allowed to talk to me like that. Then why do you let yourself talk to yourself like that?
Great point. Great point. Okay, so that's the activity. It's notice the negative self-talk. It's write it down, stare it down, ask yourself, like, if anybody else spoke to me this way, how would I react? And then give yourself a replacement because we can't stop thinking thoughts. That's just part of our, mental faculty that can't be turned off. So to replace it, what if like what if they came up with like 5 things that they love about themselves? So every time they hear the negative, they can just go right to that list of the 5 things and
Yeah.
just replace it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I would recommend that you read it first thing in the morning and at night, both.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Because in the morning you're setting the intention for your day. Like you're starting your day in a way where you're holding yourself high for the rest of the day. And then at night, as you know, we're processing everything that that happened throughout the day. And at the same time is how you're going to wake up the next day. So if you're going to bed thinking, you know, I'm amazing, I'm smart, I'm this, and this, that's how you're going to wake up in the morning.
Yes. Give your subconscious good food to eat. I love that.
Yeah.
So, okay, you've shared so beautifully and so vulnerably, and I really am so um, honored to have you talk to my community because I know how much power you bring and how much transformation is available. Um, and so, let's say we have followers who are like feeling ready to take this next courageous step for themselves in this like self transformation. Where would you have a lot of wonderful offerings that I'm going to share. Where should they start?
Okay, so right now we're at the perfect time because I am doing a 5-day confidence challenge starting on Monday,
Okay.
uh,
That's
which I am so excited to do because I will walk you through all the things that I've used in my process. Like, how did I get from not being confident, not loving myself to where I am right now?
yeah.
So, my best practices, I put them together in a challenge. And I think what's important about the challenge, because I created 2 things. I created a 12-step guide of my top 12 practices to renew your self worth and just be confident and unapologetic. So that's one thing. But Are you back? I don't have control.
Can you hear?
Yes. Hi. Yes.
Sorry. I think what I need to do is this and this. All right. So now you can hear me. Sorry about that.
Yes, we
So
can hear you.
will you say that part one more time? This is the unapologetic.
Perfect. Yes. So this, and actually, let me see. Okay, so this is the registration page for the challenge. Is a 5-day confidence challenge, unapologetic badass challenge, where I am gonna walk you through the practices that I used myself to go from not loving myself, having zero confidence, to be where I am today, where I'm absolutely confident and just have so much love and acceptance, even though I have alopecia and I've lost my hair. So those are my practices, and this can apply to anybody, whether you have hair loss or not, or anything, right? Like confidence is something that we need right now, especially in this challenging times, because there is so much uncertainty, and we don't know when we don't know what's going to happen, what's happening. Our confidence goes down.
Right.
So this is the perfect time to do this, to build that muscle, to practice.
And this
Now,
is Monday.
12-step guide. What's up?
This starts on Monday.
It starts on Monday, April 13th.
God. Perfect timing. Okay, so listen, if you want in on this, do not wait. The link is in the chat. Click it and jump in. This is free, right?
Yeah, absolutely free.
Free.
So we're going to share the link. And yeah, please join us. I'm going to be sending you videos each morning. I'm also going to be going live every day for Q&A. This is going to be very interactive. And my purpose is to walk you through it. Like this is not a thing that you're going to download and you're going to read and then that's it. No, we're going to do this together.
Wow, that's such incredible value. Thank you so much. And so that's the 5-day challenge that starts on Monday, and then talk about the 12-step guide.
Right. And then the 12-step guide are my 12 practices that will definitely renew your self-worth and just I don't know. I don't want to say it's the rules that I live by. I would say when it comes to confidence and like managing everything. Like honestly for me, I think that confidence is everything. Confidence is what walks you through making decisions, taking action, right? Like if you don't have confidence, you don't make decisions. If you don't have confidence, you don't take action.
Yeah.
And when you take action, things get created.
Yeah.
So confidence is everything. And it's a muscle. It's not something that you just learn or it's a concept. No, you gotta do it. And so I think these two complement each other. And yeah, I mean, just let's do it. Let's do it together. You don't have to do it alone.
And then your website, which I'm also going to put a link. Let me do that now. So for people who are just like, oh my God, I love everything that Val is saying. I'm 100% in. I want more. They can go to your website. And I saw that, do you have discovery calls, or like, how do you work this?
I do. Yeah. And you can get a free discovery call with me.
Amazing.
You can, the link is right there. Absolutely. Please do. I actually open especially right now, because I know a lot of you we are going through a massive change. I have opened a lot more time in my calendar to do free discovery calls. So please, I would love to help you with anything that you're going through right now. I know this is a very challenging time for everyone.
It's beautiful, Valerie. Thank you so much for making this available.
And wait, as you were going through it, I saw that you also glanced through my podcast, which you're going to be a guest on next week.
I know, I'm so excited. We did that a few days ago, and the interview was so much fun. So we have a program through Becca Rose called Unapologetic Woman. And I just love that your podcast is called The Unapologetic Badass. I was like, oh my God, it's such a perfect fit. So in the podcast interview, we talked about shame and shadow work. And so we'll be rolling that out soon. But yeah, definitely check out Valerie's podcast, Unapologetic Badass, too. So good.
Yeah. Which is so perfect. I was so excited that we had that conversation because, it's perfect with the shame and confidence.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Val, thank you so much. This was incredible. I'm so, so grateful that you came on and shared so vulnerably and brought so much courage to the community. And I just know that this is going to go so far. So thank you.
No, thank you everybody for listening. I know that, we're all home and everybody has things to do, but whenever you're watching this, if it's live or the replay, thank you for, joining us. And I really hope that you take advantage of this time to create something new for your life. Like this is an opportunity. I would love for everybody to see this time as an opportunity to create something new.
Yeah, to go inward. And if you are not yet a part of our Becca Rose app, I totally invite you to jump in because we are definitely going to continue this conversation in the app. I put the link, it's beourcoven.com. Come be a part of our coven. What I'm going to do is download this video and then post it within the app itself so that we can actually have like a forum around it. Okay.
Amazing.
All right. Thanks, Val.
Thank you, Becky.
All right, guys, stay healthy, stay safe, feel our love, and we will see you soon.